If you're dealing with acne or dark spots together, or you just want to improve the overall appearance of your skin, or you just want to maintain your skin and just make your skin glow and your skin to look even, azelaic acid is that ingredient for you. Azelaic acid works pretty fast. Skin conditions like melasma, active acne, very serious hyperpigmentation. How to properly use azelaic acid for it to be effective. Today, we're going to be taking a masterclass on azelaic acid. We're going to cover what azelaic acid is, what it does, who should use it, how to use it properly, things not to mix with azelaic acid, the percentage recommended to use for the skin condition you're trying to treat, and basically how to incorporate it properly into your skincare routine. Hi, my name is Jess, and on this channel we talk about everything skincare, everything hygiene that are science backed, no gimmicks, proper research goes into all of these tips I drop on this channel. So yeah, let's get right into the video. Azelaic acid is a naturally occurring dicarboxylic acid found in grains like barley or wheat. But in skincare, azelaic acid is lab formulated for stability. It is anti-inflammatory, antibacterial, and guess what? It is safe for sensitive skin. It has brightening properties. It's also safe for use in pregnancy. And the beautiful part of azelaic acid is every and any skin type or skin tone can use azelaic acid. So it's like a broad spectrum skincare ingredient. So you might be wondering, what does this azelaic acid actually do? Now let's get into it. Azelaic acid fights acne, and it does this by killing acne causing bacteria. It reduces inflammation, it unclogs pores, and the best part is, unlike antibiotics, azelaic acid does not cause bacterial resistance. So bacterial resistance is basically when the bacteria that you're trying to kill with a certain antibiotic develops a resistance to that particular antibiotic. Like that particular bacterial strain develops a resistance to that particular antibiotic. So it doesn't work, it doesn't kill it. It's like, odeshi, we're not moving anywhere, that kind of thing. So azelaic acid doesn't lead to bacterial resistance. The second beautiful thing that azelaic acid does that makes it stand out in the skincare industry is the fact that azelaic acid fades dark spots, and it does this by inhibiting what we call tyrosinase. Now this tyrosinase is an enzyme that is responsible for the production of melanin. Now because of this inhibition activity that is carried out by azelaic acid, it helps with post-inflammatory hyperpigmentation, it helps with melasma and uneven skin tone, and the beautiful thing is it does all of this very gently. The third beautiful thing that azelaic acid does is the fact that it helps with what we call prescription azelaic acid, like is FDA approved for treating. It basically reduces the appearance of redness and bumps. I believe we now know what azelaic acid is and also what azelaic acid can do. Now let's quickly get into who should use or who should be using azelaic acid. So azelaic acid is perfect for people with active acne or hyperpigmentation, redness, hormonal breakout. Also, if you have sensitive skin or sensitive acne, azelaic acid is perfect for you. Basically, anyone can use azelaic acid as long as your goal is to improve your skin tone or improve your skin condition or maintain a certain skin tone. Azelaic acid is perfect for you. What percentage of azelaic acid should I use? This is it. If you've been using azelaic acid before, you might need to focus on this part because there's a very high chance you are using the wrong percentage. Or if you're a beginner that wants to get into using azelaic acid, also focus on this part because you want to make sure you're starting with a very smaller percentage or small percentage and allow your skin build tolerance over time. For beginners, if you're just starting out with azelaic acid, I would recommend you use 10% azelaic acid. So you can either get over-the-counter azelaic acid from pharmacies that come in sort of like a cream form, or you can get 10% azelaic acid in a suspension form. And for that, I'm going to be recommending the ordinary 10% azelaic acid suspension. So this particular, the ordinary acid suspension, is perfect for beginners who wants to build their azelaic acid tolerance over time, and then with time you can now decide or see your dermatologist about increasing the concentration of your azelaic acid. The next higher percentage of azelaic acid that is available is 15%, and honestly, before you put 15% azelaic acid on your skin, I would recommend that is given to you by prescription. So example of people who should be using 15% azelaic acid: probably you have the skin condition of and you want to treat it, you can go for azelaic acid, this one called, and as I said, this should be prescribed by your dermatologist. So the next percentage is 28%. So people with skin conditions like melasma or active acne or very serious hyperpigmentation can go for the 28%. And note, if you're a beginner and you have active acne, hyperpigmentation, melasma, all of that, you shouldn't still just jump to 28%. Start your way from 10% and then you can work your way up, obviously with prescription. Basically, it's important for you to know that the higher the percentage, the higher the effectiveness of azelaic acid. right? And as a result of that, if your skin has not built tolerance over time and you start with a very high percentage, yes, it will be effective, but it's going to burn your skin. So you might get a very reverse result. It will burn your skin, it will cause tingling and all of that stuff. So you want to make sure you're actually starting off with a pretty low concentration, and 10% is perfect. How to properly use azelaic acid for it to be effective. So I'll walk you through the entire skincare step and then a particular point in which you could or you can incorporate azelaic acid into your routine. So obviously the first thing you want to be doing is to wash your face as usual, whatever face soap or face wash you're using. So you wash your face. After you wash your face, you want to cleanse. So you can cleanse using a toner, micellar water, whatever your cleansing routine is. Immediately after you cleanse and your face is like dried down and everything, the next thing you're going in with is azelaic acid. So you're not adding a product before azelaic acid, no. So the next thing you go in with is your azelaic acid. And when you're using your azelaic acid, you need only a pea size amount. This is not sunscreen. I'm not talking 2 lines, no. A pea size. This is what a pea size looks like. So you need just a pea size amount of azelaic acid. You want to put it at different points in your face, like spread it across your face, that pea size amount, and then rub it in. When you rub it in, you wait for some time, maybe 3 to 5 minutes, and then you go in with your moisturizer as usual, your moisturizer and any other serum or whatever else you use. So that's how to incorporate azelaic acid into your existing skincare routine. Now, if you're using this in the morning, obviously after your moisturizer, you go in with your sunscreen. Your sunscreen, you do the 2 finger method, apply your sunscreen. Now, ensure that you're doing a patch test before using azelaic acid at all. What is a patch test? A patch test basically is a kind of test that you carry out to ensure that you're not allergic to the product, or to check for allergy or whether the product is safe for you to use. This is how you do a patch test. You take a bit of that product and put it on a particular section of your skin. It could be this part of your hand or this part, any part. Just put it on that section, very small section, and then you wait for 24 hours. If there's no reaction, then you're safe to use it. So that's how you do a patch test. Also, azelaic acid can be used 3 to 4 times weekly, and in some cases azelaic acid can even be used 1 to 2 times a day. You can use it in your morning skincare routine and also in your night skincare routine, but ultimately it's supposed to be used 3 to 4 times weekly, especially at the initial stage when you're starting out. So this is the breakdown. If you're starting out with azelaic acid, I would recommend you using it once a day for 3 times a week. So when you've done that for like a period of 3 months, you can move to maybe twice a day for 3 times a week, or once a day for 4 times a week. Do you understand what I mean? Don't just start using it twice a day, 3 times a week. No, it'll be too much. So we'll do once a day, 3 times a week, and you space it. If you use it today, you're not using it tomorrow. Like for example, if you use it on Monday, you're not using it Tuesday. Use it on Wednesday, you're not using it Thursday. Use it on Friday, you're not using it Saturday, Sunday, and then you get what I mean. You space it. If you have any questions for me, leave it down in the comment section below. I'm going to be listing few safe actives that are okay or quite compatible to be used alongside azelaic acid, like in the same skincare routine. So the first one we have is niacinamide. You can use niacinamide and still be using your azelaic acid. You can use hyaluronic acid alongside azelaic acid. You can also use vitamin C alongside azelaic acid. You can also use benzoyl peroxide alongside azelaic acid. But if you're starting out, I would say you should avoid this because you really don't know how your skin is going to react. But research has shown that it is quite safe to use benzoyl peroxide alongside azelaic acid. Research also showed that it is quite safe to use retinol alongside azelaic acid, but this I won't recommend you try this except you've checked with your dermatologist, just to avoid stories that such. These are some side effects to note. They are totally normal, that occurs when using azelaic acid as a beginner. So you might experience mild tingling sensation, slight itchiness, or even light dryness. That's why it's important for you to moisturize properly. So these are totally normal. If you feel itchiness when you apply it, or you feel like a mild tingling sensation, or you feel like your skin feels drier than usual, it's totally normal. Just ensure that you moisturize properly. But in case you experience these particular ones I'm about to list now, you need to discontinue immediately. So if you experience severe burning, no, it's not normal. Your skin is not compatible with it. You need to discontinue. If you experience severe peeling, it is not normal at all. You need to discontinue and immediately book a session with your dermatologist. That's why I mentioned you should always do a patch test. So when you do a patch test and you see that that part is burning the moment you apply it, or after some time you notice that that part is peeling severely, don't even attempt to use it at all. I know I mentioned that azelaic acid is pretty safe for anybody to use, but if you have the tendency to have severe eczema flare up, please don't use azelaic acid without contacting your dermatologist. Book a session with your dermatologist. Don't even attempt it. So the next question might be on your mind is, okay, how long will I be using azelaic acid for before I start seeing results? So typically, just like any other skincare ingredient, it needs patience and time for it to work effectively. So azelaic acid works pretty fast, but it also depends on the type of skin condition you're treating. So if you're treating acne, like an active acne, within 4 to 6 weeks, you should be able to see visible results. One thing I always recommend is you should take progress picture. So you can decide to take daily progress pictures or weekly progress picture, because as much as I say 4 to 6 weeks, you still see visible results with your project, with your progress pictures as time goes. If you're treating dark spots, you need to give it from about 8 to 12 weeks for you to see tremendous results. Conclusion of this segment, I would say consistency matters, consistency over strength. So it's not how strong the azelaic acid is in this case, it's how consistent are you with using your azelaic acid within the recommended time frame. Azelaic acid can be used both in the morning and in the evening, but personally, with all these skincare ingredients that are active, I always recommend in the evenings when you're more settled, you're not sweating out the whole product. You can just apply it and then do your normal skincare routine and go to bed. Let's address some myth associated with azelaic acid. Some people say azelaic acid bleaches. No, azelaic acid is not a bleaching cream or bleaching ingredient or whatever. Azelaic acid regulates pigments. As I mentioned earlier in this video, it inhibits tyrosinase, which is an enzyme responsible for the production of melanin. Some people think azelaic acid is an exfoliating ingredient. No, azelaic acid is not an exfoliating ingredient. Exfoliating ingredients in skincare that we know are under the classes of AHAs or BHAs. That's alpha hydroxyl acid like lactic acid or glycolic acid, and BHAs, that's beta hydroxy acid like salicylic acid, and the rest of them. Another known myth is, oh, use azelaic acid, 7 days result, 5 days results. It's not magic. It is not magic. It does not work overnight. In fact, no skincare product works overnight. You have to give it time and you have to be consistent and you have to follow the rules. Azelaic acid is one of the most balanced and underrated ingredient that you can add to your routine. It is gentle but very effective, and that combination is powerful. If this video helps you to understand azelaic acid better, comment AZA below. And if you want me to do a masterclass and break down another skincare ingredient, just let me know down in the comment section below. Ensure to subscribe to the channel if you want more science-backed skincare broken down properly for you to understand. And I'll see you in my next video. Ensure to always stay beautiful.